On, guys? It's Sloppy Saturdays back here, and today we are doing a little bit of a part two to Joe Milton. Now, you guys know it's not often we talk about NFL news here, but we say when it relates to the NFL, we will talk about it. And Joe Milton, like I discussed in our last episode on him, was one of my favorite players in recent years in college. I believe one of the most interesting players in sports to evaluate. Now, we talked about him in our last video, why teams should go after him. We talked about how dead the quarterback market was, how limited options there were in free agency, how this draft class is kind of weak at the position. And as of yesterday, he finally lands on a team. Joe Milton gets traded to the Dallas Cowboys. The Patriots send over a seventh and Joe Milton to get in return a fifth from the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to give you guys my full thoughts on it. Now, first off, going on the Patriots side, I absolutely don't understand this at all. You basically get what you paid for in Joe Milton, and we felt like his stock rise, and we felt like there was a lot of buzz around him. The trade of seventh and Joe Milton to get a fifth back is basically just hedging your bet because you picked him up for a sixth last year. You spent a sixth-round pick on Joe Milton, and now you're getting back a fifth and trading a seventh at him. Doesn't really make sense to me at all. And I feel like this whole thing with the Patriots have been handled pretty much the wrong way. I mean, when we talk about Joe Milton, I think the biggest thing for the Patriots, like, listen, you drafted two rookie quarterbacks in the same draft, and Joe Milton has a lot of buzz around him. I think they think that buzz is going to affect Drake May, and they don't want it to affect him at all. But I don't understand it. If you have a really good young player, hold on to him. Even wait for his trade value to possibly increase even more. To give him away for basically exactly what you paid for, when there's buzz around him, when we all know Joe Milton has a boatload of a potential, that makes no sense. And when we were talking about Joe Milton like a month or two back, we were saying how teams were demanding a third pick. And then when you look after the trade, I've heard that the Raiders, the Steelers, the Giants, all these teams were offering more for Joe Milton, but the Patriots did the right thing, that the Cowboys was Joe Milton's preferred destination, and they set them over there. The whole thing, in my opinion, for the Patriots does not make sense at all. Again, you have a young quarterback that seems like he's ascending, and you give him up for the same amount you spent on him. It does not make sense to me at all. And I think really what we saw with Joe Milton in the last game, for him to, be able to make good decisions in an NFL game was just such an improvement overall. Because when you talk about these project quarterbacks, him very similar to Anthony Richardson, who hasn't shown that, and guys like Trey Lance and others. Like, the biggest thing for those guys who are so physically talented that are project-type quarterbacks is being able to show improvement, being able to make the right decision. It's all the mind game for them. And Joe Milton has showed that in the preseason and the last game of the season. So, like, he was ascending, and for them to, like I said, just basically hedge their bet, I absolutely don't get it at all. And for the Dallas Cowboys, I absolutely love it. Obviously, if I hate it for the Patriots, I got to love it for the Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys add Joe Milton as their backup. Joe Milton really gets a step up now as he's the primary backup. Obviously, last year for the Patriots, Jacoby Brissett, Drake May were both ahead of him. Now, he's the primary backup in Dallas. Now, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say that he's contending for Dak Prescott's job this year, but we have seen very similar things in Dallas. It would not be crazy if Joe Milton would eventually start for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's think about it. Tony Romo, an undrafted quarterback. You talk about Dak Prescott, a quarterback selected in the fourth round. The last two long-term Dallas Cowboys quarterbacks, they were not expected to start at all. So this is definitely a Dallas Cowboy origin type story, and I feel like it could definitely happen. Now, the rumors with Dak Prescott of people saying that he might get traded to the Browns or whatever, that he has the biggest dead cap, I don't believe that at all. Like, I think there's no way Joe Milton starts this year unless, there's an injury or something to Dak Prescott. Again, it's Dak Prescott's job in the immediate term. But again, if Joe Milton gets an opportunity, I would beware. And again, Dallas really seems like they're into these project-type quarterbacks as backups. I mean, we've seen them take on Trey Lance. I don't think that's going to work out at all. I mean, it's rumored that he's going to be going to the XFL. He's going to be out of the league. But they have shown interest in these project-type quarterbacks. And again, out of all the project quarterbacks I just mentioned, Joe Milton has the most physical talent, and I feel like he's shown me the most with his decision-making. So, again, I really like this move for the Dallas Cowboys. And again, I just don't understand it for the Patriots and other teams. At the end of the day, it's a business. And if the Patriots are getting better offers, why do they not accept these offers? I mean, I get it. They were doing right by Joe Milton. He wanted to go to the Cowboys. But, I mean, we're talking about one of the most physically gifted quarterbacks ever. Like we mentioned in the past, 6'6", 235 pounds, can run a 4.4, has the most live arm we have possibly ever seen. And the Patriots give him away. I get that they want the keys fully to Drake May with no distractions. And I feel like nobody was going to be opposed to starting Joe Milton over Drake May ever. Like, we know the prospect Drake May is. We know what he has shown. I just feel like you could have developed both, and you could have traded Joe Milton for more eventually. Don't understand it from the Patriots side at all. And it's going to be very exciting in Dallas. Now, for me as a Joe Milton supporter, I am very underwhelmed by this trade. I wish he would have went to somewhere like the Steelers, like the Browns, somewhere where he could have at least compete for the starting job. But again, he goes to the Dallas Cowboys where he is the primary backup. And again, he's going to sit for at least a year, and then we'll see what happens. Again, I think it's Dak Prescott's job, but if Joe Milton had a way to sneak on the field, he could possibly shake some heads. That wraps up this episode of Sloppy Saturdays, and we are out.